Hello everybody and welcome to the finale of this Let's Play. I thought we'd do something special and give a world tour, because I really love this world. I'm really proud of it and I love the people involved with it. So I thought, where's better to start than right here on Spawn Island. I've probably never shown this. I doubt if I have. But yep, this is where we all started. August of 2020. No, it was July 30th of 2020. This is where we all started. And this is where it all began. But anyway, let's look around. So this is like a help station. There's an enchantment area here. So I am just going to be showing the stuff that I was involved in. Because no other member of the server was making videos. Or streaming. So we might as well start here at the shopping district. This is going to be a little bit out of order, and I apologise for that. Alright, cool, so this is the shopping district, which we have seen a few times. This was the first thing I made here, which you can probably tell. This was just an ink shop, which I've already raided. We also have fish in here, and also the heads as well, which I didn't expect anyone to buy those two. Next we built this shop, which is still under construction, technically. I never really considered this officially finished. I don't like how it looks still. But basically you could either fly into the hive or you could come in here. This is where I sold some mob drops. Well, I gave them away for free. All mob drops are free. And then you climb up the trunk and then you go along the branch like this. You drop into the hive like so. And then this is where I sold honeycomb. And then this is where I sold honey, but that's out of stock, as you can see. I didn't have it automated at that point either. And then there's hay blocks down there to fall down because a lot of people didn't have elytras at this point when I made this. We had a winter area here. We had a lot of fun over here, especially in this. This is a lot of fun to go around. We all had to band together with the ice because nobody had ice. And there's been some new additions with it being winter right now. But let's get to the main event. Let's go to the base. So I just want to preface that even though this is my last episode on this world, this is not the last you're going to see of this group of people. We have something big planned which is going to take quite a while. So this is the path to my portal. I didn't make this, but I'm really glad someone did. Because I don't really like building in the nether. I did add this section to turn this way. Also added an escape route because I often come up here and fly that way. But yeah, this area looks really cool, and now we'd enter my base. So this is the view that we're all familiar with, and it is a mess. I have a lot of stuff lying around. So this is what I've called home for about a year and a half. This is our teacup, which I did make a tutorial on, if you're interested in how I built it, which I might remake that tutorial actually, because it's kind of bad, but it works. I'm really proud of this build. I really like the shape. It took a while to nail that down. I really like the interior too. I haven't felt the need to have anything bigger. This is kind of sufficed for all of the needs that I may have had, so I never really felt that we needed anything bigger than this. Yeah, up here is enchanting, over there is the bed, and that's about it. So leaving this area we come across this path and across this bridge, which I'm still proud of. I just think it's just enough of ricketiness. And then this is probably my favourite build that I've done on this, oops, on this world. This is my favourite thing because it's a wacky shape and it's cool colours and all things like that, and I just love it. And I really love the inside too. I really like the height difference, and I just think it's really neat and it's functional. Yeah, this is my bulk storage, which has come in very handy over the amount of time here. We have shroom lights in the ceiling, we have a crafting table on the floor. These things on the side were just if I needed a lot of something quick, I can just grab it and move on, which has actually been very helpful. But I didn't have enough spare shulker boxes to finish. I love it in here. I love the green with the purples. and the oranges contrasting the purples, and I just love this build. I love the inside, I love the outside. I think, yeah, this is my favourite thing that I've built here, and I'm really proud of it actually. So the next closest thing to us is actually down there, but the elevator's broken. So we're gonna take the old way in. So this is where I actually spent most of my time. This is where most of my farms are. This was the first room I decorated in here, which I am still really proud of. I love the flooring, I love the ceiling, I love the colours of the browns. I love the well in the middle as well. I think that's a nice touch. I just really love it in here. It was hard to mod proof though. This is where my villagers are. They're all fully maxed out. All of these guys too. I never filled in that. I never finished filling it in. This is where the villagers are from. They're not fully cured up or anything. But yeah, I really love this room. I think it looks really cool. I think it still holds up. And this is the kind of thing I want to get better at. Just cool designs and cool uses. Over this way, this is just a dark room. It's where I'd separate bees from beehives. This is where I would grow nether trees before I had an area upstairs to do it. And this is, most importantly, where I would get zombies to kill the villagers, which you can see the track goes around, it goes all the way around the room. Out here, there's just some junk storage, nothing too special. There's infinite water here, there's infinite water there, because like I said, I was too lazy. Down here, this is the sugarcane farm that I would use to make paper to trade with the librarians. That's been slowly ticking away over all this time. We have an AFK spot here, which you just close off. This is the elevator, which broke, I think. So this was the redstone for it. So you can see it would just power the target blocks, which would go into the piston, which would push the slime or honey, which would push the redstone, which would trigger all the dispensers. It does break quite often though, which is simple enough to fix, but it did get a little bit annoying. Down below here we also have the redstone for the jingle that plays. So when we come down the elevator, there's a jingle that plays that's controlled by this T flip-flop here. So it either plays the welcome tune or the goodbye tune. Both of which were made by Exnoh, so thank you again. I really liked that section. I really liked how you enter and you hear a musical tune. I want to do more of this in the future because I think it's just nice. So I really want to play around with that more. But keeping going this way, this was the first farm we made down here actually. This is just a potato farm. This is another AFK spot, you just chill here. I did have to cut into a bit for that redstone, it's fine, they never complained. This was the track from the villager breeder down, which is where that guy came from. This is, again, one of my favourite parts of my base. I just really love how this hallway looks. I really like the choice of blocks. Like we have beehives, bee nests all in here. We have bells, purple even. I'm just really proud of how this turned out with the sunflowers as well, the mycelium. I think it looks a bit funky, but that's kind of what I was going for. Like, it looks odd, but I do really like it. Turning this corner, there's the vine farm, which is here. So we just take a vine, we just take shears from there, collect the vines, they'd come in the middle here, put the shears back there, vines in that one. It was very handy, I used it a lot actually, and if you want a big quantity, this is probably the best way to do it so you don't destroy the natural terrain up there. I didn't spend as long on this hallway and you can tell, unfortunately. Down here that's where the cave spider spawner is, because this was actually a mineshaft. So this is where they accumulate, down here is where the drops are, and because of the update we actually have glow squids in there now, which is pretty cool, so we had to make a filter for that. over here is the ouch chest, because occasionally they can actually hit you, so I had an ouch chest, but I've only used it 3 times. If we continue to the end of the hallway, this is the bee farm, which has served as well. It doesn't look that pretty, but it definitely works. Yeah, this design did fail. A lot of times you do have to trigger it manually, that's why there's buttons on the top so I can easily do that. I don't remember if it was my own design. I definitely remember testing it out. Coming off this way, this is my note block wall. This is so that I don't have to check the wiki every time I don't know what something sounds like. Which, this sounds like it's not very useful, but it actually is. I did come to use that quite often, even though it's a more recent addition. And then this loops back to the villages, and that's about it for down here, I believe. Okay, so if we come back up here, so the first thing we made was this teacup, but the second thing we made was this milk jug. So if we fly over here, which you can see it does have milk in it, that does have tea in it. If we come over here, this is where we got all of our villagers from this whole time. We have potatoes here. We have to kind of aim it just right on that corner, because otherwise it just falls down. It's not the best system, but it works. The babies fall into here, and then by the time they grow up, we just push a minecart in, we flick the button, and then they get sent off. This goes 2 ways. One of them is to the building over in the more built up area, and then this way goes to the cave that we were just in. If we just fly over these trees, this is the most recent part of our base, which you can probably tell just by the build. You can tell that this one came before that one, for sure. This, however, is a new addition, and we'll get to that. But yeah, this was the first building we made over here. I'm still not a fan of the windows. I know they look bad, but like, the rest of it's okay. There's a story with this, okay? I was chilling here. There was a patrol. I thought these guys would be safe, so I flew off and left the server. And then when I came back, they were all dead, and this guy was sitting there. So he's just chilling there now. But that's fine. So this is our pumpkin and melon farm, which has been working quite well. There's a switch over here, so if you flick that, then they don't get collected and they just come into here. They get composted. The redstone for that is very simple. It just runs up here. All these top hoppers get locked, so they just fly over to this one. And then up here you can see all the farms. The floors are different heights, so there's 2 sections of 2 here, and then 3 sections of 3 there. And then that goes up again, so there's another 2 of 2 and a 3 of 3. And then when they would come down, we would trade with the villagers here. But obviously that doesn't happen anymore. This is where they would come up from the villager breeder. They'd go around there, and then up into place. And then right next door is this building, which again I really like how this building looks. I really like how the paintings look, and the lighting up the side, and the gradient, and the subtle blue of the diamond blocks up here, which did cost all of my money. Yeah, that did make me broke on the server, but that's fine. Yeah, again, I really like this building. I like the use of different blocks that I wouldn't have considered without trying it out, but we never really found what to put in here, which is unfortunate. It would have probably been, I'm not sure, maybe some sort of shop or something. Like, it doesn't have to be functional if it looks nice through the window there, because it's quite a big window. Yeah, but things you haven't seen is this path that I've put in. It does look a bit dodgy. I was thinking of removing the tuft because it doesn't quite fit. And also this underground section, which you haven't seen. This is basically just a tunnel connecting the more fantasy area to this area. So if you've ever been on the underground, or maybe it's like this on the subway, you go down, there's posters and stuff. There's like movie posters and car adverts and stuff all down the side. And then there's the ticket thing, like the ticket gate. And then there's the yellow line, and then this is where the train tunnel would be, but obviously it would be sideways. So then we go across here, and then this is where it links up to the fantasy section, which is very different from the white over there. I didn't finish decorating this one though. I was going to put some stuff on the walls up here, maybe some vines or a spore blossom would look really nice. And then that comes out up here with a more fantasy version of the underground sign. And that's about it, to be honest. It was just to link up so we had a way of transporting animals and stuff to and from. I mean, there's a lot of little things around here, like the path. Like, I really like this path even though it's really small. I really like the lights up here even though it was a pain to do. These guys have been here the whole year and a half. One would land here and then I'd tame it and then another one would land here. So that's why there's a bit of a collection. I think I own them all. Yeah, I do. Over here was just the starter farm, that's nothing special. Just over there. And then over here that was the strip mine, and then up here this was where I would farm wood and beehives, chorus fruit, wool, the nether woods, stuff like that. But yeah, that's about it. So I want to thank you so much for watching this series and following along and helping me build this place and make it come to life. There is one last thing you haven't seen yet, which was the original starter base. I actually lived in this tree for about a week or two. I did block it up. I filled it in all the way with dirt. But this is actually where I lived. Just in this tree, you can tell because the vines are gone and there's torches everywhere. This is where I lived. Over there is where I had my first death. This is where it all started. So I want to thank you so much for watching throughout this entire series. I really appreciate it. And I know things are going to get better and better in the future. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and in case you were wondering, here's my statistics. I'll read out the ones you probably want to know. Number of deaths, 20. Time played, 13.24 days. I mined 53,576 stone. I crafted 19,560 paper. Wasn't expecting that. 1,595 cave spiders, you can tell I used it a lot. Killed 67 endermen. I didn't use the enderman farm though, so I'm not quite sure what that's from. Killed 12 wandering traders. Alright, well, thank you for watching.